What is up, W Sports Podcast? The W Sports Podcast, we are back again. And I said the same thing twice. Sorry about that, everybody. Back-to-back recording. Sometimes it will get you. But we are so grateful that you guys have chosen, one, to subscribe to the show. So if you haven't already, now's the time to do it. But also thank you guys for jumping in the video to be a part of the conversation today, because we are talking all things World Series predictions. And we got a Dodger fan in the house. You know he's hyped. And I'm going for the Yankees. So it's going to be a split podcast. I can't wait. But also, at the back half of the podcast, if you came here for fantasy football advice, we got you covered here. We're going to do some sleepers. Don't start them. Make sure you start those guys. And I'm just saying, we've been doing pretty good overall the last couple of weeks. So
we really have.
Just saying. So, Tubby, welcome back to the show, man.
Man, I am so hyped with this World Series.
Oh, I bet. I miss those days. It's been 10 years. Actually, it's been 11.
It's been a rough couple of years for Cardinals fans.
Yeah. But it's going to be a good one. So, we're going to jump into it. There's a couple of surprises, I think. Obviously, you texted me early on, said the Yankees left off Birdie on their World Series roster, which I do think is surprising. In a best of 7, every run is going to count. And I think there's going to be some low-scoring games. But more importantly, I think there's going to be a couple of those games where we're going to see 12 runs combined scored, 13 runs combined scored, and every run is going to count, especially later on. So I did think that was a bit surprising.
Yeah, I'm surprised that they kept Trent Grisham on the roster, honestly. I mean, what is he? He hasn't done nothing for them all season, regular season, postseason. I'm surprised that they left him on there. They're carrying 6 outfielders. I'm surprised they didn't go with Birdie, because he has played solid defense at first when they needed him to. And he's played really good, bat the ball, getting on base, stealing bases. I was really surprised that they left him off with as good of a postseason as he's had for them.
Yeah. But the Dodgers also left off a key reliever I think a lot of people were surprised about. How are you feeling? Do you think it's the right call?
Well, he got hurt in his last appearance in the CS. He was supposed to go 2 innings, only went 1 inning because he aggravated something in his shoulder. So it wasn't so much of them going, we're just going to take him off. It was injuries. I was surprised about the fact that they put Brusdar Graterol on there, who's pitched 7 games this year.
But they put him in the playoffs already.
Yeah. So, I mean, we'll see what happens. He is one of our better relievers when he's healthy. So maybe he's healthy enough and they're like, okay, we're going to need that energy at some point late in the innings to fire the team up, get a couple strikeouts, and have the typical Brusdar come off the mound just all excited and getting the team pumped up if maybe they're trailing late in the game.
Yeah. The biggest thing I'm not looking forward to, though, is I expect both teams to have 2 bullpen games minimum. And I hate that. That for the World Series. But honestly, the fact that the Dodgers have put together a rotation that got them to the World Series in an NL National League, that is pretty good. Isn't super impressive, because they don't have the Kershaw, they don't have the Buehler healthy all year. They don't have. The others may again hurt. There's so many injuries for them to make it. Is super, super impressive.
Yeah, they did a great job of building a bullpen that is lights out, and they've got guys that can go long innings. I've been really impressed with Brent Honeywell since he came over. I was really glad that he got healthy and they put him on there, because he can be that long reliever that can throw 3 or 4 innings if you need to, if he's in a groove. So I think that, it's been surprising that they've been able to get there. We both said right before the playoffs start, this is the one team that we were worried about going into the playoffs because of the rotation. And the rotation, for the most part, in the Padres, the first couple games was bad. But Yamamoto has pitched really good. Flaherty had the one, hiccup against the Mets. He was sick. We'll see what happens tonight.
Better not be sick tonight.
Yeah, but I did some deep diving.
Okay.
And I think we can, we pretty much expect it's going to be Ohtani, Judge MVPs. Regular season MVPs for the AL, NL. There's been 6 times before this World Series that both the AL and NL MVPs made it to the World Series. And 5 of those 6, the NL MVP team won the World Series.
Okay. I don't know how big of a deal that is, but that's still,
I'm just saying.
And it leans to the Dodgers, so you got to take that and let's go.
History.
Yeah, history. I will say, last year Flaherty did pitch against the Yankees. He went 6 innings, gave up no runs. So I don't know if that was at home or on the road, I didn't check that. I should check.
But, I mean, I think
It's at
one
home.
good thing for the Dodgers is that the guys that they have had some pretty good success against Garrett Cole throughout their career, which is crazy to say because Garrett Cole is one of the most dominant pitchers in baseball when he's right. But Garrett Cole isn't right now. And so maybe the Dodgers are able to jump on him quick, like they've done throughout, both division and CS, where they jump on teams early on and then let that bullpen just kind of ride out the rest of the game. Hopefully that's the case for the Dodgers, in game one. But I think it's going to be a great series. I think this is what baseball has needed this playoffs. This is the CS, both series was the most watched CS, what was it, since 2007?
That's incredible. Especially when one of the markets was Cleveland. And no offense to Cleveland, but they're not drawing eyes like the Mets and the Dodgers, or the Padres probably would have. I mean, it's what's helped not having the Astros.
Absolutely
really helped.
Absolutely, no one wanted to watch the Astros play in the World Series for the 5th time in the last 6 years.
Yeah. All right, I have a couple questions, but the first one is going to be Freddie Freeman. How good do you think he is? Are you a little anxious about it? You think it's going to be more game-to-game situation-based, or is it going to be plug-and-play?
I think it's going to be more game-to-game like it was with the CS. Hopefully this week off gives him time to really at least heal it somewhat, but you can tell he's just definitely not the same Freddie when it comes to we know defensive-wise, but even with the bat, it's his plant foot, that he's, trying to drive all this power from is a big problem, when it comes to swinging the bat. And then plus, if he gets on base, if it's not a home run, he's a liability.
Station to station at best. Yeah.
Yeah.
He has no extra base hits so far in the playoffs. He only has one run, which is, again, very surprising for a guy who, where he bats in the order, he still scored 81 runs in the regular season. So it could be a key. Let me ask you this. I'm not going to ask you to pick the World Series right now, but I do want to know who is the World Series MVP if the Dodgers win, and who is the World Series MVP if the Yankees win?
Okay. If the Yankees win, I'm going to go with the wild card. I'm going to go with Gleyber Torres. Go with the table setter. Yep. I think, him hitting in front of Soto, I think is going to be key. And he's had a solid postseason for the most part. And I think that he's going to be the guy for them to get on base. It's kind of like, the Dodgers with Ohtani. They want those bottom of the lineup guys to get on base so Ohtani has a chance to drive him in. I think that's what the Yankees are looking for with Gleyber, is to get on base. That way you can try to maximize the most you can get from Soto with someone on base. And I love what the Dodgers are doing in this first game. They put Tommy Edmonds in the 9-hole. Tommy Edmonds has been lights out and been getting on base like crazy. So I think it gives, Shohei a chance to bat with guys on base more than it would if you put, someone like Gavin Lux or something down there. But for the Dodgers, I'm going to go with Teoscar Hernandez. We saw the big game, the big series against the Padres. Kind of had a lackadaisical game, series against the Mets, but the last game he really turned it on, and I think it flipped the switch again back for him for the postseason. I think Teoscar, he came here for a reason, to play in the playoffs, and I think that he's going to get his moment. And I'm going to say he has a monster series for the Dodgers.
Yeah, I do like that pick. I'm going to say for the Yankees, it's Juan Soto. And I think people are like, oh gosh, that's so tough. But I'm just saying, I think he's locked in. He's been in the World Series before, was locked in then too. Aaron Judge he's come out of the shell. I think people are definitely not off his back because they're in the World Series now, so he has to perform. Giancarlo Stanton had just a flashback, incredible LCS. But I think Juan Soto. He's a New York Yankee. I think this just solidifies it. I think if I am Juan Soto, there's no way I'm not coming back to the Yankees. I'm not Juan Soto. But dude, this is your market. You fit the Yankees build. And I think this will just be one of those monumental moments for him. So I got him doing it. And then I love the Travis Hernandez pick. I think it's incredible. I'm going to say if it's going to happen, it's a guy who you don't expect to like Ohtani. I wanted to pick him because I think he has to perform for the Dodgers to keep on moving the ball forward. But give me Kike Hernandez instead. He had a couple big moments already this postseason, but I think, like you said, if I'm looking at the Dodgers, give me the guy who just he's already coming to the day against Flaherty. He's 8 for 21, right? So he's got a good matchup against Flaherty, or not Flaherty, Garrett Cole. Excuse me. I don't know why I did that, but so I could even see him making a big moment today.
I mean, playoff Kike is different.
I know it's so weird.
He has the biggest discrepancy from regular season at that, home runs per at bat to playoff, where every 12 at bats in the playoffs he's hitting a home run. So I think I want to say maybe he is the active leader for most home runs in the playoffs. Don't quote me on that, but it's either that or he's like tied with, I think, Corey Seager. But I mean, he's got 14, 15 home runs in his postseason career. He just shows up 15 in the postseason, and that's why the Dodgers re-signed him. Dave Roberts said it. He said, "We're signing him to win 11 games in the postseason," and it just so happened that Rojas got hurt, and it played right into Kike getting the chance, and Kike took full charge, with that chance.
Yeah, I mean, it's crazy the difference that just the postseason makes. So, Tubby, are you ready to go ahead and make your pick? Who you got and how many games?
I'm going with history, MVPs.
I like it. Hey, man, you got to make a pick. So,
yeah, I'm going Dodgers. I'm going Dodgers in 6.
Dodgers in 6, and Dodgers do have home field advantage. I think that's a big point to just have. I think whoever has fewer bullpen games wins this series because the bullpens are going to get worked so much. And I do think this goes 6 or 7. Give me the Yankees in 7, man. I'm sorry. Maybe it's because I'm pulling for the Yankees. I really am sorry, man. I just think it's going to be. But this is literally, you said at the top, this is what baseball literally was begging for, and they got it.
Yeah, not even just what baseball was begging for. This is what baseball needed. They needed this type of postseason, the way it has shaken up, the great games that we've had, the late inning, excitement. This is what baseball needed to kind of get itself put back on the map, and I think it really has. I mean, the numbers, the viewership has really shown that, and I think it's great for baseball to finally have something super exciting that a sport that we love so much to finally get back out there in the light. And maybe bring more fans back into the game.
Yeah, I think best news of all, it's on Fox, so it's on my little dish. So that's perfect. No satellite, no cable over here. I got the little rabbit ear thing. Anyway, we're gonna move on. It's gonna be a great one. Make sure you follow the W Sports Podcast because we're gonna update each week as we go by. You know that this is gonna be a long series. It's got to be a long series. If this was a sweep or a 5-game, I'd be shocked. But we're going to transition now to fantasy football advice. We're going to start with quarterbacks, Tubby. Here, as we go into this, this is hilarious to me. These people are not QB1s according to ESPN, which is where most people are playing right now, even though I don't know that it's the best platform. Just throwing that out there.
Yeah.
But CJ Stroud is not. Aaron Rodgers, Justin Herbert, Dak Prescott, Patrick Mahomes, Trevor Lawrence, all these guys are not. And to have those names be QB2s is hilarious to me of where we are in the NFL today. But, all right, give me your pick.
Are we going to start him or sit him first?
Let's go start him. So,
start him. Well, you mentioned
I figured.
One of them, CJ Stroud. We talked about it on yesterday's episode about the Texans Colts. I think the Texans, they have a massive game. I think CJ Stroud breaks out of the slump that he had against Green Bay, and he just goes out 300 yards, 3 touchdowns. I think he's going to have a huge game.
Yeah. I would love to say Trevor Lawrence, and he continues on, but he ain't playing the Panthers this week. So, no, sorry, he's playing the Packers, who shut down the aforementioned CJ Stroud. So I think this week, give me Dak Prescott against the 49ers. I just don't know that I trust it this week. I said that they had to get the running game going, but if they do, I think that opens up some of the passing game. So give me Dak Prescott as your stardom. The sit, dude, this is a no-brainer for me. I'm going to start this one. It's Bo Nix. I know he's playing Carolina. I'm not starting Bo Nix.
Yeah, that was pretty wild where they got him projected this week. I don't understand it. Yeah, I mean, he's played good, but he hasn't played like fantasy, wise great.
Yeah.
But I'm going to go with Geno Smith against the Bills. I think that, DK's not playing. That's going to be a big effect on them. And Geno's not really played super great the last couple weeks.
He had one good year, people. We know who he is. That's okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. So we're going to tune in with us. We'll see if we're right. But again, we've been pretty solid. I think the boldness for us to not pick against the Panthers this week, that's just too easy. We're going to don't start against those teams.
Yeah, don't start them.
All right. Well, we're going to go to running backs. We're going to start off with, go ahead, start this guy. He means they are 25 or lower on ESPN rankings. Who you got, Tubby?
Give me Bucky Irvin. I still think that, scored 3 touchdown in 3 straight games. Even with Rachaad White coming back, Rachaad White only out-snapped him by 1 snap. I think that he is going to be a pivotal part of this offense now with Godwin and Evans out for the foreseeable future, especially in the pass game, because he is really good in the pass game. So is Rachaad White. But I think that they have found their future running back. The ineffectiveness that Rachaad White's had this year, I think, is kind of what we all expected most from Rachaad White last year. Is not super efficient, and I think that Bucky Irvin gives them a better shot with this offense with those guys out.
Yeah. I'm making this pick based off of the score. I think it's not going to be close, and I think you're going to find him in the end zone at least once with some garbage time yards as well. Justice Hill from Baltimore. Give me him. I think Derrick Henry's going to have a good game. I hope so. He's in one of my best leagues, my best teams right now, but I do think he'll eventually be able to just say, hey, go in there, clean it up. He'll get at least into the end zone again. He did last week, so just throwing that out there. All right, who is don't start?
Yeah, this one I'm gonna go with Alvin Kamara, and it's because
coming off the extension and everything, you're like,
he's a little banged up from last week, and that offense is so bad right now that I think that the Chargers are going to key in on him and not let him beat them, because that's the only way that they can beat the Chargers is if Alvin Kamara has just this absolute massive game. I don't think that that's going to happen. Like I said, he's a little dinged up, so I think that that's going to play an effect into it. And I think the Chargers, Jim Harbaugh knows how to play defense. He knows how to shut down run games. I think that's what happens.
Yeah. I don't feel good about this because I feel like it's a cop-out, but Tony Pollard at 22, going against Detroit, I don't like it. Detroit's just doing something. They're well-coached, great culture. I think they're going to try and stop the run. So, not feeling good about that one.
Yeah.
All right, let's move on to receivers. Tubba, who you got to go ahead and sneak them in the lineup? This would be, again, 25 or lower for those who are following along.
So I'm going to give you 2.
Okay.
Real quick. First one, Romeo Doubs. Romeo Doubs, since he has come back, he scored 17, 19 fantasy points. And it seems like Jordan Love has made an asserted effort to find him within the offense, and it has worked out really well for them. And you are playing the Jaguars, who has the worst defense in the NFL right now. So I think he's absolute stardom. But the sneaky one, and we talked about this team with all the injuries that they have, it's a tight end, Cade Otton. If you have tight end problems right now, Cade Otton is out there. I don't know if he is because he has played so well. I think that you saw what he did last week whenever Mike Evans went down. Baker Mayfield was looking for Cade Otton to fill that role. He had 19 fantasy points. I think he has another massive game because their top receiver now is Jalen McMillan.
Yeah, no, I like that one. I am going to give you 2 as well. So here you go. One of mine's not tight ends. One of them is going to be Sterling Shepard. Because of the injuries, I do like him as a possibility because they're going to have to keep up with Atlanta. I think that's going to be a super high-scoring game. And Ricky Pearsall would be the honorable mention. He's not actually the second one I was going to do. Where did it go? Where is it? Demario Douglas was my actual other second one. Two of his last 3 games, 9 targets, and he's had a good one. I think he's quickly becoming one of the primary reads for Drake May. So we'll see if that continues on, but that's what I would do.
Yeah, I like that.
Don't start him. I'm going to say Marvin Harrison. Maybe this is because I'm tired of putting him in the lineup and seeing him put up 4 points. So that's mine.
Mine, I'm going to go with one I think is probably going to shock some people, and it's Malik Neighbors. They are playing the Steelers.
To not be the case.
They're playing the Steelers. Steelers defense has played really good this year, and we don't know what we're going to get from Daniel Jones from week to week.
I mean, that's true.
And
Just give him the ball.
He didn't have a great game last week, but he was coming back from the concussion, so maybe he's able to get the uptick. But I went with a wild one because I don't know. The Steelers defense, the way they have played this year, has been what we expect from a Steelers defense.
Yeah. Well, I'm going to point this out. For those who are doing fantasy football and you're wondering, okay, the receivers, I feel like I have it down, but my running backs are struggling or vice versa. 3 of the last 4 weeks, so over the last month, 3 out of the 4 weeks, running backs have had a higher share of the top tier, outside of quarterbacks, of course, than wide receivers have. I think you've seen some of these studs actually play like studs. So just going to go ahead and throw that little nugget out there. Maybe some of these teams are figuring out to run the ball. Joe Mixon last week. Derrick Henry, just keep running the ball. Find those running backs that are out there. Even the Bucks, who I know lost last week, were absolutely getting destroyed. They ran the ball, unfortunately, I think six times or more with 3 different players. That doesn't help anybody. Find a guy, get him into a rhythm, let him wear the team in.
Yeah, and I think a big contributing factor is what you kind of mentioned, with the quarterback ones and quarterback twos. The quarterback play from the NFL this year has been atrocious.
Bad. Yeah, the names that we said that are that's crazy. Come on, Patrick. Play like Patrick Mahomes.
I mean, Mahomes kind of has an excuse because of the targets, but he does have DeAndre Hopkins now.
Yeah, okay. I'm just saying Kansas City and Oklahoma Sooners both cannot keep healthy receivers. I'm tired of it.
No. Yeah.
So
something's got to change.
Yeah. So, well, we hope you all enjoy the World Series. Make sure you watch it tonight, or I guess, and yesterday. I think they're back-to-back games. But enjoy one of the all-time great series we hope it's going to be. And hopefully you set your lineup for fantasy football and you get a couple W's because of the W Sports Podcast. We hope we get to be a part of that. But we appreciate everyone for joining the show today. Till then, see you all early next week.
See ya.
See ya.